What if these anime characters were in horror movies? Naruto would watch the Texas Chainsaw Crew kill 22 innocent people, make a bomb-ass chili with a side of bone meal bread, and still try to use his talk no jutsu on them. He would say, "I was once like you, and I feel your pain. Motherfucker, those are inbred cannibals. They need to catch a Biju bomb to the face, not try to talk things out." Ash would be too dumb to realize he is in mortal danger. He might even send his Pikachu to battle Frankenstein and put it in a loop of shocking it to death and reviving it. Next, he might even try to catch a possessed nun in a Pokeball. If he succeeded, he would probably check her stats and then store her in the PC box, because she got them Magikarp physical stats. Makima. She's a devil. What more I gotta say? The only thing that would change is now Makima has new dogs to play with. Denji better up his game before he gets replaced by some horror icon. Man's gonna have to put in overtime to keep her attention when she has Jason as a pet. His big, built, mommy issues having ass would probably call Makima mommy too. If things get too real for Guts in a horror movie, he would start to have Vietnam-style flashbacks, tweak out, and now we're in a scenario where Jason and the crew are running for their lives. When in armor-clad, screeching like he's possessed, swings a car in the shape of a sword at you. Horror movie goons don't want to trigger Guts. He's all about that life. Zenitsu's bitch ass would probably die of a heart attack in any horror movie. Bro would have a heart attack before the monster even has a chance to enter the plot. I bet even the most tame horror icons like Michael Myers would give him a stroke. His only chance of survival would be to pass out instead of having a heart attack and dying. He might stand a chance against most of them, unless he's facing Freddy, then that man is cooked. Alucard would feel at home. Even if by some miracle someone like Pinhead drags him to hell and tortures him, what would that do? Man basically a walking circle of hell. Enjoys pain and regenerates. He's gonna eat that man. Pause. But seriously though, he would be like a kid in a playground, completely in his element. Horror villains think they're tough shit until they meet Saitama, the bald depression simulator in a jumpsuit. Freddy tries invading his dreams only to find out Saitama's subconscious fear is just him missing sales at the grocery store for 8 hours straight. Talk about psychological torture, but for Freddy. Imagine Pennywise trying to unnerve him with visions of horror, only to find Saitama's greatest fear is missing the last discount on cabbages. The only thing that gets obliterated faster than the monsters is Saitama's will to give a fuck. Man's so dead inside he makes the undead look enthusiastic about life. With Gojo around, every horror villain might as well hand in their resignation. He turned Crystal Lake into his personal hot tub and made Jason his chauffeur, but gets bored and starts a reality TV show called America's Next Top Serial Killer, where he judges horror icons on their murder technique. Sorry, Leatherface, but your chainsaw routine is giving me B-movie energy. Then makes Michael Myers do TikTok dances while trapped in infinity. The real curse is Gojo's ego, and he's spreading that shit everywhere. Light would turn any horror movie into a psychological thriller where he's the true horror. Ghostface starts calling, Light's already tracking his number, ID'd his favorite coffee shop, and written his name in the death note before the first scream. By the movie's end, he's convinced every villain to join his perfect world squad. Freddy, Jason, the entire horror icon roster, just pawns in his master plan. He'd probably manipulate Candyman and Ryuk into a death match just for the spectacle. For Light, horror villains are just competition for the role of most terrifying presence, and he's not about to lose. The real horror show starts when Mob hits that customer service voice. Excuse me, Mr. Kruger, sir, but have you considered that maybe the reason you're invading dreams is because no one invaded your personal space to give you a hug? Instantly turns every slasher film into an impromptu counseling session, and if they pushed him to 100%, he'd unintentionally exercise the whole horror franchise out of existence. Meanwhile, Reagan would be right there, convincing the killers that their bad vibes just need a good spiritual cleanse, charging them outrageous fees for premium exorcism services.